Happy Monday, happy week 1 of Q4. We are here. Our theme is college careers and the pursuit of happiness. So here's what we got on the agenda for this week. We're going to do a quick write. We're going to go over what things are going to look like. We're going to do some skills building. And then on your own, you're going to read and you're going to do writing. So first, let's just start with quick write because that's kind of like what feels normal for English class. Here you go. Choose one of the following prompts, and then you're going to pause this video, and then just use a watch, use a timer, or whatever you want. You're going to write for about at least 5 minutes, probably no more than 7. You could write longer if you really, really want to, but I'm telling you, it's just a quick write. All right, so choose any one of these 3 prompts. Either write about your favorite happy memory, write about what songs or videos make you happy and why, or write about something nice that someone did for you. And then after you do this, we're going to have a discussion thread going in Teams or in Jupyter, and everyone's encouraged to post something, and then I want to add to a YouTube playlist so that we have this great playlist that everyone can turn to of videos, of songs, of content that just make you happy. There's one video in there for now. That's my pick. I'm going to be giving you through Jupyter and PowerSchool, Teams, all that kind of stuff, the link to this Q4 slideshow, and you can go ahead and click in there. I'm not going to show you the video right now. It's cool. It's music. It's thousands of bouncy balls. There you go. All right. So you're pausing the video. Do the quick write. Okay, moving on. This is our big idea. This is a big picture message for this quarter. By articulating my beliefs, passions, and priorities while researching college and career options and requirements, I can approach life with a deeper sense of purpose, change the world, and pursue happiness. Because I know we all want to be happy. I want you to be happy. All your teachers, your parents want you to be happy, and your teachers and parents also want to be happy. So yes, we're going to talk about what it takes to get into college and what you need to do to get there, or maybe if college is for you, if you feel like it's not for you, we can look at all those things without any judgment attached to them. But hopefully to then sort of be able to reorder our life, come up with a map of what you want and how you can get there. So how are we going to do this? What is this going to look like? This is a weekly plan. Now, I'm not going to read all of this to you because it's on a slide and this is a video, so you can pause it. That's great. So take notes if that helps you. Same thing, like take notes on this part. If you want to write this down in your own writing, that's cool. Okay. But I'm not going to say every single thing on here, but basically here's the deal. What I'm going to give you every week is a screencast, and you can do that on your own time. Pause it as you want. Do take notes. Obviously don't copy it because you have access to it, but I want to know your questions. I want to know your ideas and stuff like that. And you can, of course, contact me right on the, team page or anything like that about questions and ideas. We can even set up a conference, a little mini conference, a conversation, either video or audio or chat or whatever. And so that I can kind of help clarify anything that over the course of these teaching videos, if you have questions or wonderings or something that I just didn't explain in a way that makes sense to you during all of my virtual office hours, then based on you taking notes and knowing what it is that you don't quite understand, we can have really productive conversations. Something that I want to do to make sure that we keep having everyone be prepared for high school next year is we're going to do some sort of a writing or grammar skill every week. I'm going to try to make it small, manageable, but it is important. I want to have you be strong writers and get a little bit more grammar in. And then besides that, there's always going to be some sort of reading task. That reading task might be in text. It might be a podcast. I will do my best to have things that have both audio and written forms available to support you. Then on your own, what you're going to be doing. So this is probably about an hour. And then on your own, it's going to be about an hour. You'll do that quick write like that we already did and some writing practice. We'll get to that. And then you're going to do your assigned reading, and then you can do a 4-hour reading guide to kind of process through that, or maybe respond to a message board post. It's your choice, okay? So what I want to go with, what I want you to understand for this quarter is that pretty much for everything, there are options. Even for the assigned reading, I will generally select one piece, that maybe two if it's short, that everyone will read, so that we have something to kind of be able to have in common and talk about together. And then I'm always going to give you choices, because I love choices. I hated required reading in school. I want you to get better as a reader and just to like reading more. And I think that by giving you choices, hopefully that'll happen. Now, here's the fun thing that we are going to do this quarter. You are going to start a blog. More on that coming up. But just so you know, your one sort of like big assignment for me for the week is going to be to make a blog post of some sort. And I'll always try to give you options for that. Okay? That's going to be the thing that's generally due Friday. All right, so here we are. We're getting into the skills workshop part. So you see this little screenshot here. I started a blog over break because I can't tell you guys to blog if I'm not blogging too. That would be super unfair. Okay, so now this is a part of the video where you might want to pause it. You don't have to do this all at once, but if you want to, then you can just keep going. Okay, but now we're moving into the writing skills workshop within this week 1 class. All right, so that's kind of cutting off there. There we go. So writing skills workshop, sentence combining, part 1 of 3. So this is to say we're going to go over this whole sentence combining thing in different ways to create more complex, more elegant, more sophisticated sentences for the next 3 weeks. So just little by little, okay? Here we go. All right, so there are 3 things. These are going to be the 3 sessions. So this week we're just kind of talking about the comma and ways that you can use a comma. There's a meme here. And then you can see these other 2. You're probably not paying attention to this now because here's a meme about a comma. A comma can make all the difference. So what is that circled line missing? A comma. Commas are crucial tools for separating thoughts and ideas, whether they be as small as a list of symptoms, right? This should say unable to eat, comma, diarrhea, not eating diarrhea. Gross. Okay. Or sometimes you use a comma to separate 2 big ideas. So now we're going to go over that. The first way is comma plus conjunction. So this is the most common way to combine 2 independent clauses. Don't get scared and say like, oh my God, I'm already lost. I don't know what an independent clause is. An independent clause is just a thought that can stand alone. That might be a simple sentence, such as, I am hungry. When is dinner? Okay? Or if I said, I'm hungry, colon, when is dinner? That would be one sentence, but it's 2 thoughts. Okay? So in this case, what we're talking about for this week is using a conjunction if you're going to use a comma. Okay? So I'm not saying like what I said right now, I am hungry, ... when is dinner? I'm not using a comma and I'm not using a conjunction. But if you're using a comma, you have to use a conjunction, okay? So if you're using and, but, or, for, or yet, it's comma and, or comma but, comma or, comma for, comma yet. Don't worry, I'll give you examples in a second. So here we are. Here's an example from something that you're going to read this week. Don't worry, it's like 3 minutes long. Happiness is a journey. Everyone seems to need different things to be happy, but I believe people are blinded from what truly makes one happy. All right, so that's the original. Now, we can combine these 2 sentences if we wanted. We could say happiness is a journey, yet everyone seems to need different things to be happy. Or we can say happiness is a journey and everyone seems to need different things. Happiness is a journey, but any of those would work. It just gives it a little bit of a different flavor. Now, with these 2, honestly, if I were this writer, I would have combined this because it's weird to start a sentence with the but. In my mind, I would write, a lot of people would write, everyone seems to need different things to be happy, comma, but I believe people are blinded from what truly makes one happy. It would look like this. See, there you go. That's what I would do. As a side note, this author of this piece that we're reading this week, she was 16 when she published this. So you guys can totally become published authors like now, this year. All right, moving on. Comma plus appositives. Don't freak out. New grammar term. An appositive is the technical term for a phrase or word that gives more information about a noun. Generally the subject of your sentence or paragraph, right? So it's a great way to make your writing sound less concise and less choppy. And don't worry, it's not you. This is a new word, but not a new concept. All right. You are using appositives every time you provide contextual lead-in in this style that I tend to give you, for example. So Iago, comma, the antagonist of Shakespeare's play Othello, thinks that women are inferior to men. There you go. Boom. That is sentence combining using commas and appositives. Because otherwise, I would have to say, Iago is the antagonist of Othello. Othello is a Shakespeare play. Iago thinks that women are inferior to men. You see how that's like really choppy? But instead, we can just use all those commas, put it all together. Very nice, very concise. All right. Finally, here's another little example from that same text. There it is. I don't want to say it out loud. And then there it is. I would say Marilyn, a 9-year-old girl, took me to her house to meet her parents. Instead of, I spent the day with a 9-year-old girl named Marilyn, right? So you could change that. It just sounds different. Do you have to do it? No, but it's kind of nice to have different ways to use sentences, because just like we wouldn't want to eat maybe exactly the same thing for school lunch every single day, right? Pizza day is nice if it's once a week, but if it's pizza day 7 lunches in a row, maybe not so good, unless you really love pizza. Okay. One last thing. So you use commas for list items. You use commas to connect two thoughts using a conjunction. You use commas with appositives to add more information and make cool sentences. But don't just throw it in carelessly. It's not nice to splice. All right, that's my last thing for this little writing session here, right? So it says, the teacher asked a question about comma splices. The student was truly baffled. No, that is a no. You cannot use a comma like that. In that case, you would use a period. Or you could say, the teacher asked a question about comma splices, comma, and the student was truly baffled. Or but the student was truly baffled. So the way you fix that, if, say, you go into your Quickwrite, go back to your Quickwrite that you wrote a few minutes ago, you find a comma, and you might realize, oh, holy cow, I am comma splicing. Because you have to, if you are combining a sentence using a conjunction, it has to have a comma and the conjunction. And, but, or, for, or yet. Okay, so this is the end of our little grammar session, going back to the week at large. So here's your task. This would be time to pause and practice. Reread your Quickwrite, highlight or circle any commas, and if it's not on the list, or if it is not with an appositive, or if it doesn't have a conjunction, that's a foul. That's a comma splice, my friend. So you're going to want to fix that. And then so just find one place in your Quickwrite where you've got two short sentences that you could combine, either by using and or but, or by kind of combining it using appositives. All right, so you can pause the video here, try that out. Shouldn't take you more than 7 minutes, okay? If you're taking more than 7 minutes, that's more than I want you to take, okay? All right, now here's the deal with your independent work. I'm sending you off into the week. Now, I've got a bunch of stuff hyperlinked here. Obviously, since this is a video, you can't click links right in here, but I will be sending all of these to you. Again, I'm sharing this slide deck to you, and you'll have access to this at any given time. It works great on mobile, so if you're using your phone or whatever, you can still do it, okay? So, for reading, you're going to read that whole piece, The Essentials to Happiness. It's like 4 minutes long. and there's a podcast. And there's this whole site called This I Believe. There's a whole bunch of other stuff on there, so I'll just kind of show you real quick. It's a public dialogue about belief, and not necessarily belief like faith, but just a belief is anything that you believe to be true, right? Like, I believe that me drinking coffee in the morning is good for other people because it makes me more energetic, you know? Okay, so that's a belief. Anything that you believe to be true, that you think is true, that's a belief. So kind of looking into that kind of stuff. And this that I picked out is about happiness. There's some suggestions at the bottom as well. But just find at least one or two others and take a look at those or take a listen to them. They're about 5 minutes long each. And then, so I wanted to leave a lot of time because you're going to launch your blog this week and publish one post. Now, please do not think that your post has to be as long as that grammar post I just did. That took quite a bit of time. I absolutely do not expect you to write that much. When I'm thinking of a post for this time, we'll get to it on the next slide, but honestly, like just a couple paragraphs and just have some fun coming up with a template. All right, so I want you to have fun. I want you to make your blog your own. And then do a 4-hour reading guide or something like that. Just like 10 minutes, so don't spend a ton of time on it. Just so you can kind of process and make some connections to your own life and to the world around you. And then finally, I've got this slide. It's about launching your blog. I'm not going to read everything on here. Like I said before, you're going to publish one post a week. Your one post this week is your choice. You can either create an About Me page. You can take that Quickwrite that you did at the beginning of this video and kind of turn that into a blog post. Maybe throw a little picture, throw a little video in there if that is inspiring to you. And or you could take a part of that 4-hour guide from looking at those This I Believe speeches or essays, and you can turn that into a blog post. All right, so those are my 3 ideas. If you have another idea, just shoot me an email, shoot me a Jupiter message, and I'm sure I will tell you that is awesome. Go for it. Okay, so I'm going to write that on here too. So if you have another idea about what you want to do for your first blog post, contact me. I'll 90% likely say yes. Okay, so these are my 3 ideas just to narrow it down, but just let me know. So this is going to make you a published writer. However, just remember, be wise, and with great power comes great responsibility. So use your words carefully. This is like for your academic and professional development. So just keep it appropriate. And also just for your privacy and your About Me, please just use your first name and last initial. Don't go like putting any like serious like personal information. Don't feel obligated to put a picture of your face or anything like that. Only if that is something that you want to do and that your parents or your family is comfortable with. Absolutely not a requirement. I have a picture of my face on there, but I'm an adult and I made that decision. You do not have to. Okay, so don't have to put a picture of yourself, and please just use your first name and last initial. Okay, and then I think that's it. If you have any other questions, just you know how to contact me. Message me on Jupiter. There's a link right there. Chat me on Teams. If you want to have like a conversation just with you or with a few people, if you have specific questions about a blog or anything else, you can get at me on there for video chat, audio chat, or just typing. On Insta, my teaching page is CVLCC_Ms. Wright. You could just message me on there. You can check out my blog if you want to see what I've been doing with that. Not too many posts yet because it takes a little bit of time, but we're getting there. And that's it. Oh, yeah. And then there's a little tutorial here. It's 5 minutes to get started on that. And if you have any other questions, again, I already said that. So I hope this is interesting and exciting to you. I know you can do it, and I'm really excited to see what you're going to come up with, okay? All right.